Hey guys, welcome back to this place, and if you are new, then welcome here for the very first time. I'm Carmen, and today we are going to watch Westworld Season 1, Episode 7. After the last episode, I'm very interested to see what fresh confusion this episode brings. I am curious as to how many different times I can change my mind on these characters. So yeah, let's just watch it and continue to learn things and probably still somehow be more confused. Also, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I do have a little bit of sunburn on my head, so I went outside yesterday. I don't know, but yeah, it's there. So sorry. Without further ado, though, let's just get into this episode and, again, just see what happens.
According to the system, she started her leave today. Is there something I can help you with?
No, thanks.
That's sus. So whoever took Elsie definitely has something to do with the company because they made it seem like she took leave.
The user you are trying to access cannot be located. Say message to transcribe a message.
Is he gonna go to Sector 3?
This place, the people who work here, are nothing. Our interest in this place is entirely in the intellectual property. The code.
The money.
Host minds, storylines.
I don't give a rat's ass about the host.
Yeah.
It's our little research project that Delos cares about. That's where the real value is. 35 years of information, raw information, exists here. Nowhere else. You ask him to retire politely, and if that person has the ability to snap his fingers and erase the value of that empire, you have to make sure you have a contingency. So you and I need to ensure that by the time the rest of the board arrives, we're on course for that transition. We need to demonstrate just how dangerous Ford's creations can be.
So that's why they're doing it.
Do you ever dream you're someone else?
I don't think so. Why?
You ever thought about whether this is really the life you want?
My family's got a farm. Bad soil. Nothing grows. I send money back to them. A couple more years of this and then I can have whatever life I want. I'm gonna get my family out of the desert.
Fuck. Pretend to me.
Which one is it? It's the one at the bar. Go. Quick before the guests upstairs finish up.
Oh, it's gonna be
Whatever
Clementine.
she did, it must...
They're gonna try to make Clementine hurt somebody?
What is it you're looking for?
Good question.
Lawrence is right. You could have stayed in Pariah or gone back, but you're here with me.
I think that's the key with you.
The only thing I had when I was a kid were books. I used to go to sleep dreaming I'd wake up inside one of them because they had meaning. This place, this is like I woke up inside one of those stories. I guess I just want to find out what it means.
I don't want to be in a story. All I want is to not look forward or back. I just want to be in the moment I'm in.
They're going to kiss.
Dolores. Back home, there's a woman. And when I get home, we're getting married.
Oh, that would be so awkward. Like,
How can I go back to pretending when I know what this feels like?
he's got some very mixed signals that he's throwing around here. Maybe now's not the best time to do this though. You know, just a thought considering. Oh fuck.
Apparently, Miss Cullen and Miss Hale have a presentation for us.
What about?
Being
Following the recent reports of host malfunction, we asked QA to check the last abortive update, which featured the reveries. I'm sorry to report that Miss Cullen and her team uncovered some worrisome findings.
This actually doesn't prove anything though, because just because he reads as a human, he's not actually a human. I mean, also they reprogrammed her, so it's a lie anyway.
The concern with the reveries is that the host will remember some of their experiences and act on them.
You're telling us that these hosts were responding to a grudge?
You put this code out without proper vetting and without reasonable understanding of its ramifications.
It's, oh my,
We're way beyond rollback territory.
Y'all, I'm really pissed right now.
Within the...
You want us to lobotomize them, is what you're saying?
No, not you, Mr. Lowe.
Yeah, they're obviously
After all,
gonna
this
fire
was
you.
your responsibility.
Fucking build a host army. I'm good with it. Build an android army.
Then you're fired.
You've unlocked something in me.
I'm not a key, William. I'm just me.
What if he's a host that's meant
What
to
is that?
read as human?
I don't know. And what about you, William? What do you dream of?
Ambush.
Is it the Ghost Nation?
Worse, the Confederados.
Oh, fuck. He's got the stuff in him. Oh, fuck. Not Dolores. Ghost Nation?
Ghost Nation!
Let's go! Why would you have stopped in the first place? At the center of the maze is the actual building, the company.
It's real. What I dreamt.
Where's Clem?
I don't know. I haven't seen her. Why?
Find her. She's here. Let's go.
We can't.
You don't want to fuck with me, Felix. Take me there now.
Yes! Yes, oh my gosh, okay.
Tilt your head back, please, Clem.
No, 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 no. Don't let this happen. 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 No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, please don't. Please don't. Please don't. Please. Maeve.
And I know you and your team were responsible for the stray in its satellite transmission.
That's right.
I don't care. Which is why I need to show you something.
He's trusting her after everything?
Time to do one more thing.
What?
Yeah.
All my life, I've prided myself on being a survivor. But surviving is just another loop. I'm getting out of here. You two are going to help me. At first, I thought you and the others were gods. Then I realized you're just men. And I know men. You think I'm scared of death? I've done it 1,000,000 times. I'm fucking great at it. How many times have you died? Because if you don't help me, I'll kill you.
Yes! Oh, I love Maeve so much. He's gonna take her to Ford's family's house. What if Bernard, like, kills her or something? Would he do that?
What's behind this door?
What door? Slower than our machines back at the Mesa, but we'll render a host in a few days.
He's gonna...
Ford's been making his own hosts out here and telling no one.
He's gonna kill her and make a host her.
What is this, Bernard?
He's a host.
Doesn't look like anything to me.
That's why he couldn't see the door. Has he been a host this whole time? Y'all, I did not see that coming. Like, what the fuck? He's gonna kill her
I
though,
read a
right?
theory once. The hosts are the ones who are free. Free. Here. Under my control.
But he's not under your control. He brought me here to show me this.
No, he brought you
Yeah.
here because I asked him to.
Do you really think the board will stand for this?
Hun. He's gonna kill you and create another you.
The board will do nothing. Sadly, in order to restore things, the situation demands a blood sacrifice.
Yeah, he's gonna kill you.
Arnold and I designed every part of this place.
Hun, he's gonna kill
It
you.
was our dream.
Y'all have severely underestimated this man. You could, like, punch him or kick him in the balls or something, like...
We should be getting back, Bernard. We have a great deal of work to do on the new storylines.
So they're not even gonna replace her with, like, a fake her? They're just gonna kill her? Okay, so that was obviously a very crazy episode, and a lot of stuff happened that I was not at all expecting, especially at the end. But I do feel like I got some answers on certain questions that I had, so let's talk about that a little bit. First off, Bernard and Hector were having a conversation, and Hector was saying things that weren't in his, I don't really know what it would be called, like, word index dictionary. The things that he's programmed to say and deviate from saying, he was adding a few extra words. He got the words from the person that he was talking to, and he remembered them in some way, so he's deviating a little bit, which is interesting. We also saw more of Charlotte Hale, and I love Valkyrie, but I do not like Charlotte. And my main problem with her is that she sees the hosts completely as intellectual property, and that's all she cares about is the code. She uses them and disposes of them as though they are just toys that she can play with, which, again, I understand that a lot of these people do see them that way, but I still feel like they're more than that, and so it's very frustrating to see them treated that way by most everybody. Also, she's working against Ford and Bernard, and at the end of the episode, I guess, given what happened at the end, I shouldn't be on Ford's side, really, in any way, but insofar as I think it's beneficial to the hosts for Ford to remain there, I am on his side, kind of, but not because I think he's a good person. Obviously, like, what he just did at the end of the episode was completely fucked up, and I will talk about that in a little bit, but yeah, again, just because of, I think it's advantageous to the hosts for Ford to stick around, and I don't trust Delos at all to, in any way, care about the hosts, which they've already admitted they don't. They care about the money, they care about getting the code so that they can use androids for something more than just a park. Again, I'm gonna go with possibly an army, possibly maids, assistants, secretary, I don't know, just people that can work for them. I feel like a company that cares about money would, as much as Delos seems to, is gonna care in the way, what ways they can use the hosts in, and what ways it would be, again, advantageous for them to use the hosts. And a company that cares about money is going to care that it's going to be cheaper for them, right, to build hosts, have them complete jobs that would cost, that they would have to pay people to complete. They can just create hosts and they don't have to pay them. And that's what I'm thinking that Delos is seeing this as, that an opportunity to further their business, possibly to sell the code for a shit ton of money, you know, just things like that. I do think that I slightly understand why some of the hosts have been malfunctioning, although based on this, it kind of seems like the host that bashed his head with the rock was kind of what Delos was doing, and maybe adding some of the slight reveries to sort of make it seem like the hosts were malfunctioning. But I don't think that they're responsible for Dolores. I don't think they're responsible for Maeve. So I don't think they were responsible for Peter Abernathy. But I definitely think Dolores and Maeve are not the company's doing, in which case, is Arnold out there? Is Ford doing it? And to what end? Like I said, we have some answers and more questions. I really liked Clementine. I didn't want her to get decommissioned. I hope that maybe at some point she can come back. I don't know how lobotomizing works when they're androids. If it was a person, obviously there would be no way for her to return to who she used to be once that happened. But since they're androids, it's possible that Ford could rebuild her and make her at least a semblance of who she used to be. So we'll see about that. I don't know. I would like to see Clementine again because I do like her. It's really interesting knowing what happens at the end when Bernard is Bernard and Ford, right? And they fire Bernard because they're like, this is your fault, blah, blah, blah. And then later at the end, when Bernard is talking to Teresa, he's like, oh, it was really clunky. Like, it was so obvious that y'all interfered with the code. You should have used somebody from our department and stuff like that. And as I'm watching, I'm like, how is Bernard even in the building? Like, once you get fired, you don't just get to still hang out where you used to work, right? They kind of make you leave, I would presume, especially in a place like Westworld Park, right? So I did wonder that, and then I was like, maybe they're just giving him the day, like, to get his shit together and whatnot. Obviously, it makes sense knowing what I know now, but it's kind of funny because him saying that was really Ford saying that. Like, this was really clunky and shitty and very obvious. Like, come at me with a little bit better of an attempt, and maybe I'll even deign to respond. Okay, so, y'all, I do want to talk about Bernard, but I kind of wanted to wait until the end to talk about him because, like, holy fuck. But I guess, I don't know, I'm just going to talk about it now because I've already started talking about it. So, we did that, and then he took Teresa to the cabin that Ford's family was in, and he's showing her around, and she's like, hey, what's this door? And he's like, what door? And I did think that was weird, and I don't think I said it in the reaction, although I wish I had now, but I was like, why can he not see the door? Is he a host? Did he, like, I still didn't think that Bernard was a host. I thought that Ford might have done something with Bernard, and this Bernard was a host. I didn't think that Bernard in general was a host, which is just something I did not see coming. So that revelation was huge. I thought Bernard was going to take Teresa there and possibly kill her and then create another Teresa so that people don't know that she's not there, that is under their control, which I still think is a possibility. But obviously not from Bernard, although technically Bernard did kill her, but it was Ford who was planning this all along, and, well, not all along, but long enough. Like I said, because of his, decision to indiscriminately kill people, it kind of is like, I know I'm not supposed to be rooting for him, but at the same time, the company is really fucked up, Delos. So I am not rooting for them, but it does make you wonder what happened to Arnold. It does make you wonder what the Man in Black is going to find, what Dolores is going to find. Is Maeve going to be able to escape? Like, what is Bernard's intentions, or what were Bernard's intentions for talking to Dolores, knowing what we know now? Is this Ford's contingency plan because he maybe noticed that the board was trying to fuck with the host a little bit, so he fucked with the host a little bit back and is trying to take over completely? Like, I'm really not sure. I know Ford's like, hey, this is my life's work. I'm not just going to let you take it away from me, which, yeah, of course, that makes sense. But, I mean, he literally just murdered somebody or had someone murdered, whatever, in order to keep this going. So, yeah, I don't know. I think that my hope that Ford was the good guy has officially sort of been killed. But at the same time, I don't know. I want to know if Arnold is real. I want to know if Ford has been implanting this voice into Dolores' head, some of these other people's head. I want to know. Am I reading this wrong, though? Like, Dolores and Maeve have nothing to do with Delos, right? Because surely if they did, then Maeve, especially, would have been the perfect example of, like, hey, these hosts are kind of going a little bit out there, because she's literally talking to people. I just feel like they can't know about that aspect of it, or else, again, they would have used it to their advantage. So I don't know if Ford knows about that aspect, surely Ford got Bernard to talk to Dolores, so he has to know something. Maybe Ford suspects that Arnold is alive and he's trying to suss him out. I don't know. I'm gonna move on because these are all questions that cannot possibly be answered, and me sitting here asking them is just making me wonder more. But I'm not gonna be able to answer them, obviously. Y'all, were there hints that Bernard was a host before I saw it? Because I'm very curious about that. If I missed it, I feel like the door, I feel like the only real hints for him being a host that you can like look back and be like, oh, was the door, and then also him still being in the building after he'd been fired, which I don't know why Teresa didn't think was suspicious. Because again, usually you're kind of asked to leave the building when you get fired, right? I don't know how it works, but I would assume that you would be asked to leave the building when you've been fired. Speaking of Bernard being a host, I do question if William is real or not, or if William is a host that is made to seem human to other hosts. He could be a plant by Ford/Bernard to help Dolores along the way because he's human, or he could just be a human. But again, the scene where they're in the train car is what's getting me. The scene from a few episodes ago when it panned back and Lawrence and William were gone, and then it panned back to Dolores. So the only thing I can think is that she's done this before, at least to a certain extent, and she's gotten sort of far before. And yeah, I just don't know. I feel like I don't trust anything in this show, so I'm like, maybe he's a host too, which again wouldn't be a bad thing because I do like the hosts. I do think that they should have sentience and everything, as y'all know, but I just wonder if he is indeed a host and not a human. Speaking of William and Dolores, the building that they're in at Westworld Park, right? It seems to be sort of like you take like a train to get there, because that's what William and Logan took. I think it's like on this, and it looks like it's obscured in this, I don't know what they're called, honestly, but giant rock formation. And so I wonder if Dolores is trying, at the center of the maze is actually the building, like the building that all the people are in that design Westworld Park, right? And if that's where Dolores is trying to get. Although you think if that's where she was trying to get, be a lot easier, because if she just got killed and then woke up like Maeve did, she would be in that building. But I don't know. Maybe it's something else. Maybe at the center of the maze is Arnold. The last thing I want to talk about is going to be Maeve, and towards the end with her and Sylvester and Felix, and she wants them to help her escape the park because she says death is just another sort of loop. She's still stuck in this loop. She's just now aware that she's stuck in this loop, which would be worse than being unaware and stuck in this loop, obviously, right? So she wants to leave, and I loved that scene so much because Sylvester is all like, excuse you, do you realize every single thing in this place is built so that you cannot leave this place? It's keeping you here. So for us to try to help you leave is going to be a suicide mission for all of us. And then Maeve's response of being like, yeah, do you know how many times I've died? I'm not scared to die. Because she knows that she can wake up again, right? And for Sylvester, she's like, how many times have you died? Like, you know, which is just really funny. And then I love that she said, help me or I'll kill you. Mostly because I don't like Sylvester in the first place. And I love Maeve, so obviously I'm just always going to be on her side. That's it. I don't have anything else to say about this episode. It was completely insane and not at all what I was expecting, which is kind of the theme for this show, which I honestly love so much. So, yeah. As always, let me know what y'all thought in the comments down below, and until next time, bye guys.